get it. Period.
I'm in Tullamore. George Hook. Shh. No. So I'm in Tullamore. I'm just reversing out of a little mace garage here where I pulled over to put on all my cameras. It's a bright, sunny, beautiful winter's day in November. It's just the tail end of November now. I mean, literally it's 28th, I think. Yeah, 28th of November, 29th of November even. So there's only 1 day or 2 days left in this part of the world before we hit December, which is Christmas, and before we hit the traditional point of the year where people really go wild about cars, because it's always around this time of the year when it's a little bit earlier in fact, but around this time of the year people really start ramping up when it comes to what car they're going to buy in 2017. Anyone who hasn't decided has really come down probably to just a couple of brands left now. So there'll only be 1 or 2 cars left in the run. So let me introduce you to the Kia Optima. I think they call it SW, but Estate. Estate is what my brain always thinks of. I'm not into that kind of sports wagon thing because it alludes to the idea that you're going to do some sort of sports in this. You're not. You're going to put things into the boot. You're going to put kids in the back seat. You might even put a tow bar on it, and you'll go and do some camping or something, right? And that's where this car wins because, well, it's bigger than a saloon, but it's not as tall as a Sportage. So you tend to get better fuel economy, even though it might have the same engine, because the car will be lighter. An amazing amount of people just go 3 abreast or 2 abreast there, just driving on a hard shoulder. It's illegal. Just remember, driving on a hard shoulder is illegal. So why would you consider a Kia Sportage over something like a Skoda Superb or, even an Octavia Estate or something? Well, there's a number of reasons. One is it's much cheaper. You're going to save a couple of grand, this versus its competitors. Now this has a 1.7 litre diesel engine. I've seen in the UK, a review of the Kia Optima PHEV, which is plug-in electric hybrid vehicle. Now, Kia tell me there are no plans to bring that to Ireland yet. There may not be a market for it here. Maybe nobody wants it. Fair balls. But you know what? Possibly put it on a price list because people are starting to move away from diesel, and with damn good reason. Ireland is not a big country in terms of square miles, how far you're going to drive on a daily basis. Diesel is only efficient at motorway speeds over long distances. Over a short distance, petrol's just as good. And I'll tell you, last week I had the Kia Niro Hybrid and I really enjoyed it. A little bit on the boring side, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. What it lacks in horsepower, it makes up for in fuel economy. It did 700 kilometers, never even looked for fuel, okay? And that was it. So here we are in a diesel. It says I can do about 1,000 kilometers. If I'm really efficient in driving, I probably will get that. If I'm not so efficient in driving, I won't get that. That's the difference. Now, it's very quiet in here. I will say that for it straight off, it is very quiet. It is a very pleasant place to sit and drive and just poodle about in. It is. I quite like it for that reason. The quietness comes from better insulation. Wow, it's sunny. That's beautiful. God, vitamin D. Oh, lovely. Vitamin D, yes. I love it. Makes you feel good. It's a very nice car to trundle about in. It's very quiet. It gets on with the job. The touchscreen is very intuitive. They've put down manual buttons for all the bits that's on the touchscreen as well, so you don't really have to touch anything on the touchscreen that much. It plays from Bluetooth. It detects my phone as an iPod when you plug it in, and once it's cycling, it just plays it straight away. No question, all works. I suppose the problem is when you get out of the car and you were playing podcasts last, when you get back in, no matter what you were doing, it would play the radio first. Don't like that. You should try and seek out the last thing you were doing. Think about that, Kia, for a minute. The last thing you were doing, if you're playing by Bluetooth streaming, and you get back in, that's the first thing the radio should try and do, is try play by Bluetooth streaming. So in terms of design, exterior, where's my thinking on that one? I think it's very Alfa Romeo. I think in this red colour particularly, I think it's very 159 looking, I suppose. That kind of, that estate one, without being a direct copy. It is very similar to it. It still has the Kia Tiger nose. It's wider, it's broader at the hips. It looks tidy. Boot space, brilliant. It's got tie-down hooks. It's got underfloor storage. It's got shopping bag hooks. It's covered all those bases. That's no problem with storage there whatsoever. That's mighty fine van by it. Jeez, that's an old van. Old high ace. The van is driving there. What would I recommend? What have I got a problem with? I don't really have a problem with anything. The price is good. The equipment level is very good. The steering seems to be sorted now. They seem to have decided what way they're going to put the steering. You know, they used to have heavy, medium, and light, and all these other settings on it. That's all gone now. Just made one setting. The steering is a touch sharp, just a little touch. So when you go like quarter steer, that's a little, and then you go quarter and a bit steer, and it's like going left. I don't really have a problem with that. It's okay. It's something you'll get used to over time. Touchy-feely is where my brain usually is. So I'm a big fan of the things you commonly touch in a car to being exceptional quality. So the steering wheel, buttons on the steering wheel, the buttons down here, they're all fine. Gear stick, it's a little bit plasticky. It's a little bit weak. It feels a little bit weak compared to everything else within the cabin. It's something maybe Kia should address, add a little weight to that gear shift. It does feel a little bit wishy-washy. And I don't mean the clickiness in and out of gears, that's fine. I actually mean the actual handle of the gear stick is what I'm talking about there, rather than the actual gears themselves. The gears are fine. Ratio seems pretty good as well. The diesel engine in this does a fine job of getting around. They seem to put in extra sound deadening pads somewhere along the way, or made the engine quieter, because I really don't hear it all that much, even when I flick back a gear or two. It's there now, 3000 RPM. Yeah, around 3000 you will start to hear it again, but it's nowhere near the drone level it used to be. You know, it used to be quite loud. Overall here, I think, you know, top marks when it comes to the Kia Optima SW or Estate or whatever you want to call it. I think it's a very, very pretty, very practical car. It's at a reasonable price. Engine lineup is well sorted, and I like the fact that Kia just have like 3 specs of car. You know, you can have a top, middle or bottom, sir, and that's kind of it. Not a pile of options to go with it. I would hesitate if you particularly need a towing car. I might consider bigger engine in this, more torque, more output in that respect. It'll do the job. Whether it would do the job long-term towing wise or not, I'm not sure about, but I seem to remember a Kia being towing car of the year in the UK a couple of years back, so who knew? I don't know anything about towing caravans or something. Was it Practical Caravan or something that voted a towing car of the year? I don't remember. I don't take an interest in these sort of things. I just drive cars like human beings, not like caravanists. So if you like this video of the Kia Optima SW review right here in Ireland, please give us a like and a share. I'd love it if you shared these videos. I'd love it. I think I deserve a few more subscribers than I have right now. I love all 22-something thousand of you. And I love that I have 12 point something million viewers. It's fabulous, but I would really like some more. I really would. Until the next time, I will see you on the far side.